There's one word, just one single word, that manipulators use to control you. And once you hear it, you'll realize you've been falling for it your entire life. Right now, someone in your life is using this word to make you do what they want, to make you feel guilty, to make you question yourself, and you don't even realize it's happening. Stop right there, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see every conversation for the rest of your life. That friend who always gets you to cancel your plans, they use this word. That coworker who somehow makes you do their work, they use this word. That family member who makes you feel guilty for living your own life, they definitely use this word. This isn't just psychology, this is dark psychology, the kind that manipulators have been using for centuries to control people without them ever knowing. 500 years ago, Machiavelli understood this. He knew that the most powerful manipulation doesn't look like manipulation at all. It looks like a simple conversation, a casual request, a single word. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose this word, show you exactly how it's being used against you right now, and teach you how to become immune to this manipulation forever. But I'm warning you, once you see this, you can't unsee it. Once you understand how this word controls you, you'll hear it everywhere, and you'll realize just how many people have been manipulating you. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I refuse to be manipulated. Are you ready to see the truth? The word is just. I know what you're thinking. Just? That's it? That simple little word? Yes. And here's why it's the most dangerous manipulation tool in the English language. When someone says just, they're doing something incredibly sinister. They're minimizing. They're making their request seem smaller than it actually is. They're making you feel like saying no would be unreasonable. Listen to how it sounds. Can you just help me with this real quick? I just need 5 minutes of your time. It's just a small favor. Can you just cover my shift? Notice what's happening here. The word just makes the request sound tiny, insignificant, easy, like it's no big deal. But here's the manipulation. It's never just anything. That quick help turns into 2 hours of your time. Those 5 minutes become an entire afternoon. That small favor becomes a massive inconvenience. That shift you cover becomes a pattern where you're always the backup. Machiavelli once said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." Manipulators understand this perfectly. They use just to get you to say yes in the moment. And once you've said yes, they've got you. Think about the last time someone asked you for something using the word just. Did it actually turn out to be as small as they made it sound? Or did it end up taking more time, more energy, more effort than you expected? The word just is a psychological trick. It's designed to bypass your natural defenses. It's designed to make you feel like you're being unreasonable if you say no to something so small. But the truth is, nothing is ever just anything. Every request has a cost. Your time, your energy, your attention. And manipulators know this. They use just to hide the real cost of what they're asking. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My time has value. But just doesn't work alone. It's always paired with something even more sinister, guilt. Here's how the manipulation actually works. When someone uses just and you say no, they act shocked, hurt, disappointed. Really, you can't just help me with this one small thing. Notice what just happened? They've now made you the bad guy. You're the unreasonable one. You're the selfish one. All because you said no to something they made sound insignificant. This is the guilt trap, and it's one of the most effective manipulation tactics ever created. The manipulator sets up the situation so that no matter what you do, you lose. If you say yes, you sacrifice your time and energy. If you say no, you feel guilty and selfish. Let me give you a real example. Your friend calls you on Friday night. You've had a long week. You're exhausted. You just want to stay home and rest. They say, "Hey, can you just come pick me up? My car broke down. It's just 20 minutes away." Now, if you say no, you feel terrible. They're stranded. They need help. It's just 20 minutes. But here's what they're not telling you. It's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. That's 40 minutes, plus the time to get ready, plus the gas, plus the fact that you're exhausted and needed this time to rest. What seemed like a small favor is actually a significant sacrifice, but they used just to hide that reality, and if you say no, they make you feel guilty. Wow, I can't believe you won't just help me. I thought we were friends. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that he who deceives will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived." Manipulators know that most people are conditioned to help, to be nice, to avoid conflict, so they exploit this by making their requests sound smaller than they are and then guilting you if you resist. The guilt trap works because it attacks your self-image. You want to see yourself as a good person, a helpful person, a generous person. And manipulators use this against you. They make you feel like saying no means you're not a good person, that you're selfish, that you're a bad friend. But here's the truth. Saying no to manipulation doesn't make you selfish. It makes you self-aware. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't owe anyone my energy.
Now here's where it gets really dark. Manipulators don't just use just once. They use it to create a pattern of escalation. It starts small, really small. Can you just lend me $5? You say yes, it's just $5. No big deal. Then it happens again. Can you just lend me $20? I'll pay you back. You say yes again. You already helped them once. It would be weird to say no now. Then it gets bigger. Can you just cover my rent this month? I'm in a tough spot. Now you're in deep. You've already established a pattern of saying yes. Saying no now feels like you're abandoning them. This is the pattern of escalation, and it's one of the most insidious forms of manipulation. Manipulators start with small requests to test your boundaries, to see if you'll say yes, to see if you're someone they can control. And once they know you'll say yes to small things, they gradually increase the size of their requests. Before you know it, you're doing things you never thought you'd do, sacrificing things you never thought you'd sacrifice, all because you said yes to something that seemed just small at the beginning. Machiavelli once said, "Whoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times." Manipulators understand this. They adapt. They escalate. They push your boundaries little by little until you don't even recognize where your boundaries used to be. Think about someone in your life who always asks you for favors. Did it start small? Did it gradually get bigger? Did you ever wonder how you ended up doing so much for someone who gives so little back? That's the pattern of escalation. And it all starts with just. The word just is the foot in the door. It's the first step in a long manipulation strategy. And once you let them in, they keep pushing further and further. Here's how to recognize the pattern. They always minimize their requests with just. The requests gradually get bigger over time. They never seem to reciprocate or pay you back. You feel exhausted and resentful, but can't pinpoint why. Saying no feels impossible because you've said yes so many times before. If this sounds familiar, you're being manipulated. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I recognize manipulation. So now, you know the word. You know the tactic. You know the pattern. But knowing isn't enough. You need to know how to protect yourself. Here's how you become immune to this manipulation. Step 1. Remove just from your vocabulary when people make requests. When someone says, "Can you just help me with this?" mentally remove the word just and hear what they're actually asking. Can you help me with this? Now evaluate the request based on its actual cost, not the minimized version they're presenting. How much time will this actually take? How much energy? What am I sacrificing to do this? Step 2. Pause before you answer. Manipulators rely on you saying yes immediately. They want you to respond before you have time to think. So don't. When someone makes a request, pause. Even if it's just for 3 seconds, say, "Let me think about that," or "I need to check my schedule," or simply, "Give me a moment." This pause breaks the manipulation.
It gives you time to evaluate the real cost of what they're asking. Step 3. Say no without explanation. This is the most important step. When you say no to a manipulator, they'll ask why. They'll want an explanation. They'll want a reason they can argue against. Don't give them one. Just say, I can't do that, or that doesn't work for me, or simply, no. No explanation, no justification, no room for them to guilt you or negotiate. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Be the fox, recognize the trap of just, be the lion, say no with strength." Step 4, watch for their reaction. Here's how you know someone is a manipulator. When you say no, they get angry, they guilt you, they make you feel bad, they question your character, they bring up past favors, they make it about you being a bad person. A genuine person respects your number. A manipulator attacks it. If someone can't handle you saying no to a small request, it was never small, and they were never genuine. Step 5, create distance. Once you've identified a manipulator, create distance. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them your time. You don't owe them anything. Manipulators don't change. They just find new tactics. The only way to win is to remove yourself from the game. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my boundaries. But here's the deeper truth that most people miss. The word just isn't just used by other people. You use it too. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll just check my phone real quick. I'll just watch one more episode. I'll just skip the gym today. I'll just start tomorrow. You're manipulating yourself. You're using just to minimize the cost of your bad decisions, to make procrastination seem harmless, to make self-sabotage seem insignificant. But it's not. Every time you say just, you're lying to yourself about the real cost of your choices. That quick phone check turns into an hour of scrolling. That one more episode turns into a lost night of sleep. That skip gym day turns into a month of no exercise. That start tomorrow turns into never starting at all. The most dangerous manipulation isn't what others do to you, it's what you do to yourself. Machiavelli once said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." But I'll add this. The first method for estimating your self-awareness is to look at the words you use with yourself. If you're constantly using just to minimize your bad decisions, you're not being honest with yourself. You're being your own manipulator. Stop using just to lie to yourself. Start being honest about the real cost of your choices. When you want to check your phone, don't say just. Say, I'm choosing to spend the next hour scrolling instead of being productive. When you want to skip the gym, don't say just. Say, I'm choosing comfort over my health goals. When you want to procrastinate, don't say just. Say, I'm choosing to delay my success. See the difference? When you remove just, you remove the lie. You see the truth. And the truth forces you to make better decisions. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I stopped lying to myself. You now know the one word that reveals manipulation. Just. You know how it's used to minimize requests and bypass your defenses. You know how it's paired with guilt to trap you. You know how it creates patterns of escalation. You know how to become immune to it. And you know how to stop using it against yourself. This one word has been controlling you your entire life, but not anymore. From this moment forward, every time you hear just, you'll recognize it for what it is, manipulation. And every time you're about to use just on yourself, you'll stop and be honest about what you're really choosing. Machiavelli once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. But now you see what others really are. You see through the manipulation. You see through the word games. You see the truth. And once you see the truth, you can never be controlled again." If this video opened your eyes to how you've been manipulated, hit that like button. If you want more content exposing the dark psychology that people use to control you, subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who's always saying yes when they should say no, share this video with them. Now, I want you to drop this final affirmation in the comments. I see through manipulation. Remember, the most powerful people aren't the ones who can manipulate others. They're the ones who can't be manipulated. Be that person.